Ladies and gentlemen, representatives of Europa, the World Bank, the Swiss government, of the insurance sector in Serbia, and all other guests, may I firstly greet you and welcome you all on behalf of the Serbian government. May I also take this opportunity to express the pleasure of the Serbian government to host this regional conference. It means also a lot to us, because as you heard before, the government, as the responsible one, has invested its efforts, people, in trying to promulgate this product to the Serbian citizens, to the Serbian economy. Fortunately, today we talk about this, and I'm really pleased personally to hear that the first policies have been issued. I was moved a few minutes ago seeing this gentleman from Obrenovac getting the policy, really nice. At the same time, you see, how unfortunate we are for not having this product or this conference launched last year. And actually, this presentation now will show you some facts and estimates. What were the outcome of May floods? We have not covered, didn't have time to see the outcome, actually the consequences of the floods of like 2-3 weeks ago in eastern Serbia. But the results will come. Okay. So, Obrenovac, look at it. Before the floods and after the floods. It's maybe not that visible here on the panel, but it doesn't look good. This is Kolubara mine. Very important for Serbian economy and energy system. Before and after. And now some facts, of this 200 millimeters of rain that fell in western Serbia in a week time. You see the equivalent of 3 months in normal conditions. You see, all the rivers that have, flooded towns, cities around them. 1.6 million people, Serbian citizens, affected by the floods. 32,000 people evacuated from their homes. Only out in Obrenovac, 25,000. Several health facilities, so hospitals and other facilities, sustained damages, closed. Schools closed and damaged. Classes suspended. Children not going to schools. Agricultural lands, one of the main Serbian resources, received relatively large amounts of sediment and other materials, in some cases rendering the flooded areas unusable for farming. Not good. 2 coal mines were flooded, production of which is essential for the generation of electricity. Infrastructure, almost 1,000 kilometers of roads affected, 307 bridges affected. 147 landslides. You see here, Serbian dinars, 35 billion or 300 million euros damages in mining and energy sector alone. Agriculture estimated damages 120 million euros. Household, 250 million euros estimated. Companies, businesses, 250 million euros estimated damages. And now, I guess, we are all from finance here. Look at from the perspective of GDP. Gross domestic product of Serbia. So these effects of the floods estimated equivalent to 2.7% of GDP in damages and 2% in losses for 2014. Budgetary implications. Fiscal deficit estimated to be higher by 1% of GDP. So it was 0.5. We should have grown, most probably. We'll see next year when they finish the calculations, we will be in negative 0.5. Current account deficit is expected to widen by about 1% of GDP. You see the figures that were projected before. Most affected sectors, energy and mining, 60% of total decline in GDP. Agricultural production, you see, to decline by 6% in real terms compared to previous years. Manufacturing, transport infrastructure also. And of course, the one industry which will grow because of all of this is the reconstruction, the construction industry and related industries, but projected to grow by only 2.7% when you compare to all of these other ratios and percentages. And now you will see why. Only 2.7% maybe to grow. One of the conclusions that could be. I'll talk about that later a bit. So overall impact, 1.6 million people living in 38 municipalities or cities, mostly located in central and western Serbia, were affected by this. Largest damages and losses in these listed municipalities, Obrenovac, of course, Šabac, Sremska Mitrovica, but also, all the municipalities from western Serbia, starting with Mali Zvornik, Krupanj, etc. Estimated losses, mostly affected Obrenovac, Krupanj, Šabac, Loznica, Paraćin. Transport and communications, again, Obrenovac and Krupanj. Industry, Obrenovac, unfortunately, they are the leader. And in these damages, Čačak, also Paraćin, and commerce. You see the effects on businesses only in Obrenovac. And now you will see something that we sincerely, as the government, hope that this will be changed in the near future for the sake of all of us who live in Serbia. So by June 30th, 2,464 damages were reported to 17 insurance companies in the total value of 24 million. But now look at this figure in the next line. When compared to total damages suffered and losses incurred, estimated in the amount of 1.5 billion euros. So almost 5% of Serbian GDP in 2013. So look at this figure and look at the reported damages, 24 million. Insured damages, conclusion, represent only, less than 2% of total estimated damages in Serbia. We can just support further development of this product that we are talking about today. We can also ask as the government and hope that the insurance sector in Serbia will recognize the importance of this product and the importance of developing this product also for the better economic results, better financial results in the economy, also and of course, and ultimately for the livelihood of Serbian citizens and their betterness. But I think that all of us in Serbia, but also in the region, and our partners then from abroad will benefit from investing efforts in developing this industry in general, but also this product. Listening to all these facts from previous speakers about also the forecasts for the future, for the next years to come, about the floods, droughts, coming maybe as the consequence of these climate changes, etc. We should not be waiting, that something like this hit us again. And that we, are there just unprepared, and having only 24 million reported or less than 2% of damages insured. I think it's very hard for anyone to expect from Serbian citizens represented by Serbian government and its budget that, there is so much money in the budget that we can cover all of this. So, it's a wise decision. It's a forward-looking decision, to get insured. This is now my personal opinion, but I guess this is also, the very evident conclusion, logical conclusion, having in mind only these figures. So catastrophe insurance penetration, to continue a bit. So in Serbia, catastrophe insurance and weather risk coverage almost non-existent. Low penetration of catastrophe insurance is caused by a number of factors. And, we can talk about that, but, I think this should be changed. Europa and Serbia, as you heard before, Serbia became the shareholder in Europa in 2012, signed the agreement with the World Bank before and joined the project in 2011. Pilot sales of insurance policies are expected to start this year. Actually, we heard, and I congratulate also Marijana Lemić-Saramandić is the director of Serbian Europa on these first policies. It's really great. Significant enhancement of the catastrophe insurance in order to reduce exposure to budget shocks caused by major disasters which could erode its economic and fiscal position is one of the most important issues which will be in focus of our government, of the government of the Republic of Serbia in the near future. And you heard today my colleague, the State Secretary, also confirming that, so we are on the right track, I guess. Thank you all for your attention.